I just selected four words and phrases that we could talk about today from chapter 42. And let's see. The first one is pull up. Now, the thing, I think I've mentioned this before, that one of the problems with phrasal verbs is they usually have two or three or four different meanings. So it's really hard sometimes to know what a phrasal verb means without uh, without looking up the definition. So pull up could be very literal. It could be like pull up your shirt, like that. That's pulling up your shirt. That's pull and up. It's very literal. I don't know if you would consider this to be literal, but it's very common to use pull up to mean move your car forward or move your car closer. Have you ever seen that or noticed that maybe in movies or conversation? Move your car forward, move your car closer.
Yes.
It's
Mm.
when we talk about clothes, is it pull up or pull off?
Well, if you say pull up, that just means to do this action, but pull off would mean completely remove it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's why, I mean, that's very literal because you have up, which means this direction, but you have off, which means remove. So you could easily guess what pull up means just from looking at the words. I don't know if you could guess what pull up means by looking at in this context, though. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. It depends. Okay, but do you understand what it means here? It means move your car forward or move your car closer.
But I don't understand why it is pull up.
There's no logic. That's what I'm saying. It's not logical. You can't. There's no way. You just have to under. You just have to accept that the word pull and up together sometimes mean moving your car forward. There's no logic to it.
Okay.
That happens. That happens with most phrasal verbs. Not all of them, but most phrasal verbs will have two meanings at least. And one meaning, you can look at the words and you can say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Turn up. That means increase the volume. But turn up also means appear. And you could never guess that just by looking at the words. Most phrasal verbs have that. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So you just have to you
And
go ahead.
the phrasal verb have two kinds. So one is separable and another is non-separable. So this phrasal verb is non-separable.
No, this is separable. Pull your car up. You could do that. It's separable. Pull it up.
Okay.
You could do
Okay.
that.
So we can put pronoun between the two, pull and up.
If you're using the pronoun, you have to put it between the two words. You have to do the inside position because it is separable.
Okay.
That's like the. Oh, I guess maybe we'll stop for a minute and I always give this example. How do you say like enter the bus? What would be the phrasal verb that you would use in that situation? Enter the bus.
Catch the bus.
Well, catch the bus is really just like take the bus, but there's a special phrasal verb that you talk about for entering transportation. Enter the bus, enter the airplane.
Get on.
That's right, it's
Get
get
on.
on. Okay. I always, since you mentioned this, Pachu, about separable and inseparable phrasal verbs, I want to show you this example. I always use this in classes when I'm talking about this. Okay, so you say get on the bus, right? Does that?
Yes.
What do you think about that, Mohammed? Have you seen that before? Probably, right? Get on the bus.
Yes.
Okay. What is the pronoun for bus? Is that he, she, it, you, they?
It.
It. Okay. Now, Pachu, is get on, is that separable or inseparable?
Get on. Non-separable.
It's right. That's right. It's inseparable. So you how if you want to say get on the bus using it, how will you say it?
So get on, get on it,
That's right.
get
Get
on
on
it.
it. Get on it. Now, if you make the mistake of saying get it on, that means
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that is a completely different phrasal verb. It has a completely different meaning. And I'm going to wait, let me just
Oh,
so I'm not going to play it, okay? But I'm just doing a YouTube search here. And this is a very famous song. And if you watch American movies, I'm sure that you've heard this song. If you just play it, Let's Get It On. That's a very famous movie from the, or very famous song from the early 70s, I think, or late 60s. And they always play this in very romantic movies because let's get it on means let's have sex.
oh
So
my God.
if you say let's get on it, that means let's get on the bus. Let's enter the bus. But if you say let's get it on, that means let's have sex.
Oh
So it's
my
very
God.
funny how just the difference between a separable and an inseparable verb changes everything. So you have to be careful.
Mm,
Nobody will think that's what you mean if you make a mistake. Of course, it's not a big deal, but it's just funny. That's all. Kind of funny. Okay, but pull up is a separable phrasal verb. Pull, but it doesn't require an object here. So you have the taxi pulled up to the curb. Now, if you say pull up your car,
yeah.
then you could put the car inside the verb. But we don't have an object here. We don't have to worry about that. Mohammed, can you read the sentence that I have written here? Do you see it?
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
What does that pull up? What do you imagine when you read that sentence? What happened?
Curb is like restraint.
Oh, I better show you what that is. Let me see.
Curb yourself from doing bad things.
That's funny that you say that because you're right. That's true. But I think that's the more lesser known definition of curb. And the curb that we're talking about here is a noun. And this is where the street and the sidewalk meet. This is the curb.
Or the pavement.
Well, pavement is the material, but curb is that the street is down here and then the place where you walk is here and this is the curb, that part.
Yes,
Let's see, does this say? Yeah. You can even see here the arrow pointing to the curb. The curb is just that space where the road
I see.
and the sidewalk meet. So when you say the taxi pulled up to the curb, maybe the taxi was in the street and it moved to the side. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Because pull up means move closer or move forward depending on the context. So let me put that here. Move forward or move closer. All right. So do you get a clear idea of what that sentence means, Mohammed? The taxi
yes,
pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out, right? Okay.
yes.
Now, if we think about the first two words, the taxi, there are three vowel sounds in that phrase, and are they describe them to me? Are they big or are they small? E.
In the middle is the long one.
Okay, that's right. Can you say it like that?
The taxi.
The taxi.
The,
So go ahead.
the taxi.
The taxi. E. The taxi. Pachu, can
The
you
taxi.
go ahead? Yeah, that's right. Pachu, can you say it?
The taxi.
Mm-hmm.
The taxi.
What and now what do you think about the next two vowel sounds? Pulled up, pulled up.
Pulled up,
Hmm.
pulled up.
Are those that's uh.
Uh, uh, uh,
It's
a,
long short uh.
uh, uh, uh,
The,
uh.
so we have small big small big small big. The taxi pulled up.
The taxi pulled up.
Hmm. The taxi pulled up.
The taxi pulled up.
Mohammed, can you say that?
The taxi pulled up.
The taxi pulled up. Short, long, short, long, short, long. Well, how do you say the next two words, Mohammed?
To the curb.
To the, to the, to the, to the,
To the
up to the,
to the curb.
up to the.
Up to the
So that's like one little word. Up to the, up to the, up to the.
up to the curb.
The taxi pulled up to the. The taxi pulled up to the.
The taxi pulled up to the
Hmm. Can you say that, Pachu? How will you say that?
The taxi pulled up.
Can you add to the, up to the, up to the, up to the, like one word?
The taxi pulled up to the.
Hmm.
Pulled up to the.
What is the next word, Pachu?
Okay. The curb.
Curb. Curb.
Yeah.
Is that a big?
Just
Is that a long sound or a short sound? Curb.
curb.
Hmm.
Is a long.
Yeah, curb. Up to the curb.
Up to the curb.
The taxi pulled up to the curb.
The taxi pulled up to the curb.
Can you say that, Mohammed?
the taxi pulled up to the curb.
See, we have so you can you hear the big small big small big small pulse of the sentence? The taxi pulled up to the curb.
The taxi pulled up to the curb.
Hmm. And what about the next two words? How do you think those should sound? Tell me. What do you think? Are they big sounds or little sounds?
To let.
Uh-huh. And what do you think? Are those big or little? To let.
Little.
Let.
Little.
What do you think? Are they big or small? Long or short?
Short and long.
That's right. To let. To let. To let.
To let.
Curb to let. Curb to let.
Curb to let.
Up to the curb to let.
Up to the curb to let.
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let.
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let.
Oh, Sarah's here. Hello, Sarah. You can join us if you want. Pachu, can you read that phrase? The taxi pulled up to the curb to let.
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let the to let.
To let. Okay, but take a little bit more time to say the vowel sounds. The taxi pulled up to the curb to let. Let's hear the long sounds.
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let.
Okay, the taxi pulled up to the curb to let. And what are the next two words in that phrase?
The passenger.
Hmm. The passenger. The passenger. What do you think about the sounds in those two words? Are they big or small? The passenger.
The is short.
Hmm.
Short.
Short. Don't forget to whistle. Short.
Short.
Hmm.
Short.
Okay. The is short. It's usually
And
not always, but usually.
yeah,
And how about passengers? Passenger.
the passenger.
Ah, uh, uh. Ah, uh, uh. Is this big sounds or little sounds? Long or short? Uh-oh, I think Pachu has disappeared. Passengers. Let the passengers. Can you say that, Mohammed? Let the passengers.
Let the passengers.
Sarah says, what does contemptuous mean? Contempt is another way of saying hate. So if you say something with a tone of hate, you say it contemptuously. Like, I hate my job. That's a instead of I hate my job. See, if I say it contemptuously, then I have hate in my voice. I hate my job. Let the passengers out. Can you say the final part of the phrase, Mohammed?
Let the passengers out.
Okay, but now which sound is very long in that phrase? Or which sounds are very long in that phrase?
Let and passengers.
Mm-hmm. Let the. Can you say let the? Let the.
Let the.
Let the passengers.
Let the passengers.
Let the passengers out.
Let the passengers out.
Okay. But remember when you say a P, you have to make a p sound like you're spitting. P p. Can you do that sound? P
Pa-
p like that. Yeah.
l- l-
Passengers.
uh, let the passengers out.
Yeah, you have to spit. P p p. Let the passengers out.
Passengers out. Passengers out.
Uh, pulled up to the curb to let the
L-
passengers out.
The, the taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay, which is better, za or da?
The,
The. Say it again.
the taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Oh, up to the curve or up to the curve?
Oh, okay. The taxi pulled up to the taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Oh, that's better. Sarah says, what is kinship? Well, kin means family. So kinship means like a sense of family or the idea of family. If you feel kinship for someone, it means it feels like they are family to you. You feel a special connection with them. The taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out. Let's say it again.
The taxi pulled up the taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay, is it passengers or passengers?
Passengers.
Yeah, you have to say it like that. You have to make that's the whole point of this is sometimes you have to make vowel sounds very big or it will be difficult to understand that word. Pachu, are you back? Are you there? Pachu seems to.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Can you try to say the entire sentence?
Yes, sir. So the taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay, that's good. All right. How would you make a yes no question with that sentence?
Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
Can you repeat that, please?
Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
Okay. Mohammed, can you repeat that question? How would you say that question?
Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
All right. Now I'm just going to put two words up here. I think we were talking about this the other day. It's kind of important to figure this out. So let me know when you can see the two words that I have written under the sentence.
Yes.
Can you see it, Mohammed?
Uh, you can see it, Bachu? I can't see it.
You don't see it.
Yes. Yeah, you click on live because your
Oh, here I'll write it in the chat in Discord. Maybe that will help. Can you see what I put in Discord? In the chat, number one and number
yes.
two.
Yes.
Yes, I
Oh,
can see
okay, but I think it's
it.
helpful.
And
Go ahead.
okay, I am here, you now.
Well, I think it's helpful to think about some vowels you eat and some vowels you push out of your mouth. And one of these is a vowel sound that you eat, and one of them is a sound that you push out of your mouth. Which one is did? Is that something you push out or is that something you eat?
Eat.
No, did should be something you push out. Did, did.
Did.
Hmm.
Did.
But number two is something that you should try to eat. Dead. You should try to push that down.
Did.
So, yeah, that's right. It's very clear the way you're saying it. How do you say number one?
Did.
Okay, push it out. Try to push it out more.
Did.
Did. Push it out.
Did.
Yeah, that's good. You should feel some air. Did. You should feel like a vibration, like right in the roof of your mouth somewhere. Did. Did.
Did.
Hmm.
Did.
But when you say number two, you should be trying to force it down your throat. Dead.
Did.
Dead.
Did.
Dead. Okay. So our question is, did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out? Can you say that question again?
Did the taxi pull did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
The curb or the curb?
The up to the curb.
Uh-huh. Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out? Try that again.
Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
Okay, is it passengers or passengers?
Passengers.
Yeah, so that's really important to notice that some vowel sounds are very small and some are very big, because passengers might be very difficult to understand. Passengers will be very clear.
Okay.
Try again.
The taxi pulled up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay. So if I say, Mohammed, did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out? How will you answer no to that question?
No, the taxi didn't pull up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay, is it the taxi and the curb and the passengers, or the taxi and the curb and the passengers?
The taxi, the curb, the passengers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can you say that again? But try to be careful pronouncing the th sound in the.
Can I see the
No, now you have to. I already erased it, so now you have to do it from your memory. No, the. Repeat after me. No, the.
no the
No, the taxi.
uh, no the taxi didn't pull out
Pull up.
to the curb
Pull up. Pull out is different.
pu-
This is
pu-
pull up.
pull up to the curb to
Hmm.
I can't
To
remember,
let. To let. To let.
to let the passengers out.
Okay. See, you didn't need to read it. You could do it from your head. That's better. Okay. Pachu,
Okay.
how would you answer no? So did the passengers pull up to the curb? Did the taxi pull up to the curb to let the passengers out?
No, the taxi didn't pull up to the curb. Mm, yeah,
To what?
to let the passengers out.
Okay. Is it didn't or didn't? Which one is better?
Is uh, didn't is
Didn't.
didn't
Didn't. Go up. Go start high and go down. Didn't.
didn't
No, the taxi
didn't
didn't pull up to the curb to let the passengers out.
no, the taxi didn't pull up to the curb to let the passengers out.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the next sentence, which we have. This is a little bit more
Uh,
complicated. Go ahead. What?
yeah, just I want to say a few words.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh-oh. He wanted to say a few words and then he disappeared. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay. SR is here. Is that you, Sarah? Is that SR? I think that might be Sarah. Pachu, have you disappeared? I think Pachu disappeared. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for Pachu to come back, uh, Mohammed, do you remember the word cram? Do you remember what that means?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Push it by force.
Okay. What does it
Push it by force.
Okay, yeah, like forcing something big into something small is really what it means. Uh,
Yes.
what does it mean to cram something down someone's throat?
Uh, to convince them
Mhm.
by opinions opinions that they are not accepting.
Okay, to force them to to accept something,
Yes.
something they don't like, forcing people to accept ideas or opinions they don't like. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, can you read the sentence? What does the sentence say?
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meeting.
Okay, during meetings. Uh, so is that you, Sarah? You said I want to practice SR. I think that's Sarah. I'm not sure. I want to practice. Could you? Okay, what do I need to do? How can I help you participate? You can just join, can't you? Can you just join if you want? You're definitely welcome to if you want. I don't know how to do it. If you tell me how, I'll help you. Okay, now let's take a look at the first three words. They keep cramming. They keep cramming. That's e e. What do you think about the vowels? Tell me about the vowel sounds in those three words.
E keep cramming.
E e. So that's e.
They keep cramming.
Mm-hmm. They keep cramming, and then
They keep cramming.
mm-hmm. And then we have their opinions. Their opinions. E e. Their opinions.
Their opinions down.
Okay. Well, let's stop with opinions. So they keep cramming their opinions.
They keep cramming their opinions.
They keep cramming their opinions. And then we have downar, downar, downar.
down R,
So that's ow downar, downar.
down R,
Hmm. They keep
down R.
they keep cramming their opinions down our.
They keep cramming their opinions down our
Okay, and then we have the word throats. Throats.
throats.
Is that a big sound or a little sound? Throats.
Big sound.
Uh huh.
Throats.
That's right. Down our throats. You hear that big, small, big. Down our throats.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
You hear the? Can you hear that big, small, big, small, big, small rhythm? They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Uh huh. During meetings. During meetings. During meetings.
During meetings.
Let's make during small. During during meetings, and then we'll make meetings big.
Du- during meetings.
Hmm. During meetings.
During meetings.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
What does that mean? What is the meaning of that sentence?
They keep pushing their opinions
Hmm. Forcing.
uh, to our throat.
Uh-huh.
They keep pushing nonsense opinions to us.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Pachu, are you back? Because it seems like you disappeared. I could.
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh,
I'm
okay, okay. I don't know what happened. What did you want to say before? You just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
okay,
Hello.
sir.
Go ahead. What did you want to
Yeah.
say?
No, just I want to say the sentences are made by stis and unstis words.
I'm sorry.
So
The sentences are what? Can you repeat that?
the sentences are made up of stis and unstis words.
Stress.
Like
Stress.
they,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
So how can we find this stis word?
Oh, okay. Well,
Those, yeah,
I forgot to do that with the last example, but we can do it with this example. The first thing is that's what we've been actually practicing is we've been dividing these. So Pachi was saying, well, a phrase or a sentence has stressed words and unstressed words. How
yes.
do you identify the
Is
stressed?
that what we practice?
What?
Is that what we practice or another thing?
Oh no, that's what we've been practicing.
Same.
That's what we've been practicing. That's what the only thing we've been practicing is, well, pronunciation and which words to stress. And
Yes.
so number one is you want a pattern of big small, big small, big small. Like it's kind of like a heartbeat. That's really that's kind of the rhythm of English is like a heartbeat. Big small, big small,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
small. And so now we have to identify which words are big and which words are small. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But before we
Yes.
do that, let's because it's helpful to divide the sentence into phrases. So how many Pachu, how many phrases do you see in this sentence? They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
So they keep cramming
Uh-huh. So that's one. They keep cramming.
their so they keep cramming their opinions.
Okay.
They keep cramming
Uh-huh. All right.
they, their opinions down.
Uh-huh. I think I think I would put down our throats. I would put
Yes.
all together like that.
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, So now we have four phrases, right? Now, Mohammed, in the first phrase, they keep cramming. What do you think is the most
Mm,
important word? Now we're going to identify the words that will be the boom in our heartbeat. So, it's boom, 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 boom. What is the
yeah.
boom word in they keep cramming?
As
So the
we studied yesterday, the adverb is a boom word.
Okay, is there an adverb in they keep cramming?
Keep the boss verb. Okay.
Keep,
Cramming.
okay. Well,
Uh,
we could, what does cramming mean if you say cramming?
Cramming, pushing to a little space.
Yeah, forcing something big into something small is what cramming means. And you could emphasize, it depends on what you feel or what your idea is or what you think, okay? But what does the word keep mean in this sentence? Do you understand what the word keep means in this phrase?
Yes,
What does it mean?
yes, I understand. Doing in a continuous way.
Yeah, like always, always. Okay. So
Yes,
if you emphasize the word cramming, if you make that the most important word, then you're saying I can't take it. It's too much. They're putting too many things I don't like into a place it shouldn't be. Okay. So if you emphasize that word, that's probably the best word to emphasize in a neutral sentence. But what happens if you emphasize Pachu, what would happen if you emphasize the word keep instead? Because you can if you want.
yeah.
What would that mean? What does keep mean in this phrase? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, what does keep mean in this phrase?
Keep means continue.
Keep, keep, keep. Okay. Yeah, so
Keep
it means like
keep.
always. So if you decide to emphasize the word always, that means, oh, this always happens. I hate this situation.
Yeah.
Right? Do you understand? Like I'm tired that they always do this to me. So if I say they
Yes.
keep cramming, that means I'm tired. If I emphasize the word cramming, that means I'm tired that they're always forcing me to do this. But if you say they keep
Yes.
cramming, that means they always do it. I hate that they always do this. Right? And Mohammed, what would it mean if you say they keep cramming? What if you decide to emphasize
in fact,
they?
uh, like in normal way, I'm not annoyed.
Well, if you emphasize the word they, that means like, I hate them for what they do. They keep cramming their opinions. That means you're putting the emphasis on they. So you're saying, I hate that group of people. That group of people bothers me. Can you see the difference?
Yes,
But most of the time, if you Sarah says I want to participate. Well, Sarah, I see that you're here. Can't you just join? You were talking yesterday. Wait. Oh, did I? It says you're muted. Your microphone on? Because I see that you're here, but it says that you're on mute. I don't know how to fix that. I wish I could help you.
Yeah,
Hello? I think I just
yeah,
heard you. Hello?
yeah, hello. Yeah.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay. All right.
Yeah, okay.
So probably like in a neutral sentence, you mainly focus on the last important word. Okay. And if you focus on the
Yes.
other words, that's probably because it has a special meaning. All right. So right now we're just worried about focusing on a neutral sentence, not on anything complicated. Okay. So in this case, let's
Yes,
just go with
yes.
cramming. All right. Mohammed, can you say that phrase? They keep cramming with an emphasis on cramming.
They keep cramming.
Mm-hmm. They keep cramming. Okay. And Pachu, don't worry, Sarah. We'll get to you in a second. Okay. Pachu, can you can you say that whole phrase?
They keep
Me?
cramming.
Mhm. They keep
Me?
cramming. How about you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Can you try
They
that?
keep cramming.
Say it again. Let me
Yeah.
hear.
They keep. Yeah. Okay. They keep cramming.
Hmm. That's right. So you're emphasizing that cram. That's the important sound. They, and they keep
Yeah.
the,
The first syllable.
the keep.
Yeah. The first syllable of cram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they keep is very small. So they keep cramming. They keep cramming.
They keep. They keep cramming.
Pachu, what is the next phrase?
So
Okay.
the next
Uh,
phrase is
Go ahead.
so their opinions. Their opinions
All right, and which is the important word in that?
is opinions.
Okay, and which syllable has the accent in opinions?
Near opinion. Opinion.
Opinions. Opinions.
I think the first syllable.
Opinion.
Uh, it,
Sarah, can you wait? We're asking about your name.
the
Yeah.
it could be confusing. This word has three syllables, and it does seem like O has a secondary accent. But what do you think is the major accent? Opinions.
Yeah, opinions.
Which
Neons.
eh? Well, here I'll just say the vowels. Oh, eh. Can you hear that eh in the middle is big?
Yeah.
Okay.
AE.
Oh, That's oh. Okay.
AA.
So we're doing two things. We're identifying the words where you focus, but also we're creating the small big rhythm. They keep cramming their opinions. Can you say that,
So
Pachu?
they okay. So they keep cramming their opinions.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, can you say that the whole phrase? They keep cramming their opinions.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. They keep cramming their opinions.
Yeah, that's the rhythm. They keep cramming their opinions. Mohammed, can you say that?
They keep they keep cramming their opinions.
Okay. Now, Sarah, in the next phrase, down our throats, down our throats, what do you think is the most important word in that phrase? This one I think could be a little bit tricky. What do you think is the most important?
Yeah. I think throats.
Okay,
Throats. I
throats.
think. Yeah.
All right, I think that could
Throat.
work.
The second syllable. Yeah.
How will you say that if that's a very important word?
Yeah, throats. Because I
Throat.
think the first, yeah, the most important syllable is the second syllable. It's OA,
Uh huh.
throats.
Well,
Yeah, I think that's yeah, that's the
throat
most important.
throat only has one syllable, but it's a long sound. Oh, it has two sounds in it, but it's only one syllable. The two sounds are oh, ooh.
Yeah,
Throats, throats.
throat,
So
throats.
how will you pronounce the three words together? Down our throats. How do those sound together in that phrase?
Down our throats.
Okay, but what we want to do is create big, small, big, small, big, small. So down our, those are not important words. It becomes downer, downer, down our throats, down our
Downer.
throats.
Yeah, downer. Like yeah, like connected to speech. Okay, downer,
Down,
downer,
say it,
downers, downer throat,
down our throats, down our throats.
downer throats,
Hmm.
downer
They
throats.
keep cramming their opinions
Okay.
down our throats.
They keep it cramming cramming. They keep cramming their opinions down their throat
Down.
because I don't see what. Yeah, what's the phrase? I just listen to you and I repeat what you said
Mhm.
because I'm not able to see what's on the YouTube, so I
Oh,
just
you can't
listen to
see
what
it?
you said. So
Well, here, let me.
yeah,
You can't see that I'm making certain words big, but maybe this will help. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats. I put it in the.
they keep cramming.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they keep cramming their opinions down their throats.
Down our throats, down our throats.
Yeah, down our throats,
Mohammed,
down our throats.
Mohammed, can you say that entire phrase? They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Okay. Uh, can you say it, Pachu? How will you say that?
So they keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Okay. And Mohammed, the last phrase, what do you think is the most important phrase?
Meetings. During meetings.
Okay. Okay. And so meetings that has two syllables, which one has the accent? Meeting.
First syllable.
Okay.
First syllable.
All right. So we have during meetings. During meetings.
During meetings.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings. Can you say the whole thing?
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
Sarah, can you say the whole sentence? Pachu, can you say the whole sentence?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
keep
You ask me?
Okay, go ahead. Say go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you say the whole sentence?
Okay. Yeah, okay. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
Okay, that's good. Pachu, can you say it?
okay. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
Okay, they keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings. Now, let's do a little bit of intonation on this. All right. What do you think? Do you think
Yes.
this should be? Do you think this should be a happy, friendly sounding sentence or a serious sounding sentence?
Is serious.
Okay. So I'm just going to make the. I'm going to change the colors on the screen, and red is going to mean high, and blue is going to mean low. Okay. So I know
Yes.
that would take a minute to see, but just to remind ourselves that we want to start high because when you start a phrase, you normally start high, and then you try to make it go down. So they keep
Yes.
cramming. They keep cramming. Can you say that?
They keep cramming.
They keep cramming. They cram. They cram. They keep cramming.
They keep cramming.
Okay.
They keep cramming.
All right. How about the Pachu? How about the next phrase? Is that also serious?
Their opinions.
Is that also serious?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
let's do the same thing. We'll just make that red because you want to start your phrase in a high tone usually, not always, but usually, and then you want to finish low. So they keep cramming their opinions. Can you say that, Pachu?
Okay. So they keep cramming their opinions.
Okay. And Sarah, do you want to try that? High to low. They keep cramming their opinions.
They keep cramming their opinions.
They cram their opinions. High, low.
Their opinions.
Try again.
Yeah, high, low, okay. Yeah, they keep cramming their opinions.
Okay. Mohammed, can you try that?
They keep cramming their opinions.
Okay. Can you try to do a high tone? They cram. Their. Oh.
Uh, they but emphasize on cramming and opinions.
Well, there are two things. Yes, we're emphasizing cramming in opinions, but now we're also adding a little
O-
bit of music. Okay, so the
Okay,
just like you have small big small big small big. That's the rhythm. That's the boom 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 of the sentence. But now we're going to add a little music and say they cram. Cram because it's
Yes.
cram because it's serious. Opinion because it's serious.
okay.
They cram.
Uh, they keep cramming their opinions.
Their opinions. They keep cramming their opinion. Okay.
They keep cramming their opinions.
Okay. Sarah, what do you think about down our throats? Do you think that is a serious sounding phrase or a friendly, nice sounding phrase?
No, it's a sweating like it's a maybe it's so strong.
Yeah.
It's not nicely at all.
It's like
Yeah.
complaining. It's like complaining, right?
Mm,
So
yeah.
again, we'll try to make the music. We'll start with a high tone down throats, down throats, down our throats.
Downers roads, downers roads, downers roads.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
They keep cramming their opinions downers roads.
Pachu, can you try that?
Okay. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Okay, they keep cramming their opinions. Don't go up. You're saying opinions, but to say their opinions down our throats. Don't go up. Stay down.
So okay, so they keep cramming their opinions
Hmm.
down our throats.
Okay, which is better, cramming or cramming? Opinions or opinions?
Okay, cramming and opinions.
Okay,
Opinions.
I mean, you can say it like that, but we're trying to sound serious. So it would be better if you said cramming, opinions. Don't go up at the end. Stay down.
Okay, cramming
Hmm. Like
opinions.
that. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Okay, Mohammed, can you say that?
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats.
Okay. And what do you think about the final phrase, Mohammed? Is that a friendly sounding phrase? Do you want to end with a friendly note, or do you want to end in a serious way?
A serious way.
Okay. So how should you pronounce the word meetings?
During meetings.
Meeting. So, but we do want to add a little bit of music. So we'll make the word during high, during meetings. So we're adding a little bit of music to the way we're talking. During meeting.
During meetings.
During meetings.
During meetings.
Mhm. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
Okay, Sarah, can you say that with a little bit of music? And Pachu, can you?
Yes, sir. They keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
All right. Uh, Pachu, how would you ask a yes no question with that sentence?
So, do they keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings?
Uh-huh. And how would, Mohammed, how would you answer that?
Yes, they
Uh,
are keeping
or in a
are
negative, sorry,
are sorry.
in a negative way. I'm sorry. I should have said in a negative way. How would you say, how would you give a negative answer to that? No, they.
No, they don't keep cramming their opinions down our throats during meetings.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's try another. I think maybe this will be our last one for today. Uh,
Yes, yes. Okay.
uh, let's do one more, but I have to get the example here. All right. So here's our example, which is the math lesson was so advanced it went over my head. Do you remember seeing that phrase in the chapter? It went over my head. What does that mean? Pachu or Muhammad, do you know?
Uh,
The math lesson was, oh, yes, I remember.
What does it mean?
Over my head, I can't understand it because something is low IQ like this.
It could be. It could be, bro. I'm just. This is the Chat GPT definition to not understand something because it's too complicated. All right. Do you remember that, Pachu?
I forget it.
Okay.
What is the
Do you remember it now, or does it make sense to you? Do you understand the sentence? The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
yeah means the math lesson was complex
Hmm.
and advanced, so uh, he did not get uh, meaning or cannot solve.
Okay, yeah. Then sometimes when you say that, if you're talking, you have to be careful because if you say that to another person, it's like telling them they're stupid. But I mean, if you're talking to your friends, it's okay. But you have to
Yeah,
be careful how you use that. And you can say it about yourself. Oh, that went over my head, and in a way, you're calling yourself stupid. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Pretty
yes,
clear. You be careful with that
yes,
phrase. Okay.
yes, yes. I got it. Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Let's see. So, Mohammed, can you say the first three words of this phrase?
The math lesson,
Okay. The math lesson. The math lesson. The math lesson.
the
What,
math,
go ahead.
the math lesson,
Hmm. What is the big word in that phrase?
lesson,
Hmm. Listen again. The math lesson. The math lesson. The math lesson.
yeah,
Which word is big?
math,
Math. Okay. So the vowel sounds are like that. Can you
okay, yeah.
can you try
The
that?
math,
Go ahead.
the math lesson,
The math lesson. The math.
the, the math lesson,
Okay.
the math lesson.
Hmm. Pachu, can you say that phrase? The math lesson.
The math lesson.
Hmm. So that's small,
Yeah,
big, small, small, big, small. The math lesson.
Yeah, can I try?
and
And what?
and this, yeah, this is the rhythm. Some teacher also say da daddy or la la le. That is the rhythm. Just you said a a a a.
Yeah, it's just the I don't I haven't watched any videos like this, so I don't I can imagine what you're saying, but
Yes,
yeah yeah, but it's just the vowel sounds that are big, usually, not always.
yes.
So it's that's the
Uh,
that's it. Go ahead.
uh, a. Say again, sir.
It's
Uh, a
well, there are two
Yes.
sounds in lesson, so it's uh uh
Uh, 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 uh,
say That's the. So we have the, that's
uh,
and then we
yeah,
have that's math.
yeah, yeah,
So this is
yeah,
so the first two words are
yeah,
ah,
yeah,
uh,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and then
yeah,
and then lesson has two sounds. It's lesson, lesson, uh,
yeah, yeah,
uh.
yes, okay.
Sarah, you're back. Do you want to try to say that? The math lesson.
Yeah, okay. The math lesson.
Okay.
The math lesson
So, and then if we say the next three words, was so advanced, was so advanced.
wa- was so advanced.
What are the vowel sounds? Are they big or small? Can you describe them?
Was so advanced.
Was so, what is the biggest
Yeah.
word? What is the biggest word in that phrase? Was so advanced.
I saw so like difficult.
Okay.
So I think
So,
so. Yeah.
okay. Uh, Mohammed, can you say that phrase? Was so advanced.
What's so advanced?
Pachu, how would you say so and advanced together?
Sorry, can we emphasize the last word, not sword?
So advanced. I this is
Yes.
we've talked about emphasizing adjectives or adverbs in front of nouns, or well, actually this is an adverb in front of an adjective. But uh which word okay, I'm just going to write two sentences here. Wait, let me see if you can see this. All right. So if I say it was advanced, it was advanced versus it was so advanced. Uh, I'm going to put those in the chat so you can see them immediately. Okay. What do these have two different meanings, or are these the same idea completely, or is there something different about them?
Same idea.
So there's nothing different. They don't have a different meaning in any way.
Yes.
Well, I think one is more intense than the other one. Do you agree?
Yes.
Which one is
So advanced.
mhm. Why is it more why is that second one? Why is that more intense?
Because so adverb. So
Okay. So if we're doing a neutral sentence, then it makes sense that so is the most important word because it gives something special to the idea of advanced. Do you agree?
yes, yes,
Okay. So now you can emphasize any word that you want, but if you change it from so to a different word, you're changing the idea of the sentence and you're making it very specific or special. If you say it was so advanced, if you say it like that, that has a very special meaning. Meaning you were surprised. You weren't expecting how complicated it was. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of complicated, but do you
yes.
understand?
The understand. Yes.
Uh, that's like, well, let's just try a different example. The car was red, and the car was very red. And I'll just put that up here on the screen too. The car was red. The car was very red. Okay. Now, in that sentence, are these two sentences exactly the same?
No, second sentence mean a darker,
Uh,
not dark,
like
dark red, yes.
extreme red. I don't know.
Ex extreme red,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So, uh, how would you say the first sentence? Which word would you emphasize in the first sentence? The car was red.
Uh, uh, The car was red. Red.
Okay, so how do you emphasize that? You would say red. The car was red.
The car was red.
But when you say number two, the second sentence, how which word would you emphasize there?
Very.
Okay, how do you emphasize that word? How do you make that special?
The car was very red.
The car was very red. Okay. Now, in the second sentence, you could, if you want, you could say that would be a normal sentence. That would be a typical neutral sentence. The car was very red. Okay. But if you say the car was very red, that means that's such a weird color. That's such a weird color red. I can't understand it. You know, it's suddenly it has a completely different idea. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or let's see, if you say the chicken, just one more because that was a bad example. Let's try another one. The chicken was very salty. Okay, so I'm just changing it to the chicken was salty and the chicken was very salty. Okay. Uh, so I'm putting that here in the chat so you can see it right away. All right. In the first sentence, the chicken was salty. What is the special word?
The chicken was salty.
Salty. So you have to emphasize it by saying salty. Make the verb big. Make the vowel big. Salty.
Yes, the chicken was salty.
Za or the?
The
Okay. The the chicken was salty. How? What word would you emphasize in the second sentence?
very.
Okay. So how will you read that sentence?
The chicken very salty.
Oh, was. Sorry. There should be a was there. The chicken was very salty. The chicken was very salty. Can you say it like that?
The chicken was very salty.
Okay. So that would be a normal sentence. That would be nothing special. But if you say the chicken was very salty, if you kept that emphasis on salty, that would mean I thought it was going to be sweet. I thought it was going to be sour, but it wasn't. It was salty for some strange reason. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so that's the complicated thing about this. You could say so advanced, but that changes the idea. In a normal, typical sentence, you would just emphasize so. Is that pretty clear? Why?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. All right. So, can you read those two phrases together? The math lesson was so advanced.
The math lesson was so advanced.
Okay. And Sarah, which word in the final phrase? Which word in the final phrase?
Uh,
Go ahead.
Sorry, I am sorry, but I take Bachu when he was talking.
Oh,
I take
okay.
participate instead of Bachu.
Okay. So Pachi, what do you think about the next phrase? It went right over my head. Uh, well, I'm just
Yeah,
going to say this like I normally would. It went right over my head. What do you think is the big word in that
yeah,
phrase?
yeah. I think when it went over my head,
Well,
I
if you
think
listen,
it went, yeah,
if you
it
listen,
went over my head.
so don't think, just listen. Okay, it went right over my
Okay,
head. Which word pops out? Which word stands?
over, over, yeah, over my head.
Do you agree,
Went
Pachu?
over my head.
What do you think, Pachu? If you listen to that, it went right over my head. Which word do you think is the big word in that phrase?
And right and
Right,
head.
right and over.
Uh,
Went right
so
over my.
Sarah, please wait. Sarah,
I,
it's Bachu talking.
I think, I think, I think probably we would want to make our mountain peak to be right. I mean, if you listen to it, just listen. It went right over my head. That's really I think that's our mountain peak. That's where the excitement of that phrase is. Why right? What does that mean? Pachi, do you know what do you imagine the word right means there?
Yeah, right means true or
Uh, it's hard to explain what that means. It went right over my head. It means like exactly, like perfect,
Yeah.
yeah.
something like that. It's hard to explain that, but it's really an emphasis word too, so it makes sense. Pachu, how would you read that final
Mm.
phrase?
So uh, uh, it went right over my head.
Okay, but let's make right more exciting. It went right over my head.
Right over my head.
Hmm. It went.
Right
So we have
over my
we
head.
have small. It went and then right over my head.
It went right over my head.
Uh huh. Sarah, can you read the whole phrase? The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
Okay. The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
Okay, how about you, Mohammed? Can you read that?
The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
Okay, and Mohammed, if you were going to divide this into phrases, how many phrases could you identify?
Three, the math lesson,
Okay.
and it was so advanced, and the last one is the third.
Okay. And what do you think about this? Is this a serious sounding expression? It could be either way. You could think of this as serious, or maybe you're complaining to a friend and you're not angry or anything. Maybe you're laughing about it. It could be either way. What do you think?
Yes,
Be friendly or
uh,
serious?
friendly,
Okay. So
friendly.
so the thing is, if we're going to make it friendly, we want to make sure that we're going from high to low. So uh, we're going to have to do a little trick here. So I'm going to make the word the red. And I think we can also make the word math red. The math lesson. And then we'll make this low. We'll make that blue. So how would you say those three words together? The math lesson.
Uh, the math lesson,
Mhm. The math lesson. So you go from high to low. The math lesson.
the math lesson was so advanced, it
Okay.
went right over my head.
Okay, but we'll add a little bit of music to it and say was so advanced. So by the time we get here, we want to be low. Was so advanced.
The math, the math lesson was so advanced,
Hmm.
it went right over my head.
Okay, it went. Okay, now this is friendly, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is friendly or happy. So it went right over my head. We want to finish. We always want to finish low in a neutral sentence like this, but we want to make right sound
Yeah.
high because it's happy. The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
Mm.
Can you say it like that?
The math lesson was so advanced.
It went right over my head.
The blue is
Low. Yes,
decreased.
low, low, low. Right over my head. High to low.
The, the math lesson was so advanced. It went right over my head.
Hmm. Sarah,
Head.
can you try to say that in a musical way? The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
Yeah, okay. The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
Okay, great. Pachu, can you try that?
Yes, okay. So the math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
Okay, the math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head. Oh, we have PP here. Hi, PP. How are you doing today? All right, Pachu. How will you make a question, a yes/no question, with uh, the math lesson went over your head? How will you make a question with that? The math lesson went over your head.
Yes. Okay. So the math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
How will you make a yes/no question with the sentence the math lesson went right over your head? I'll write it because that's a little bit complicated. The math lesson went right over your head. How will you make a yes/no question with that statement?
So did the math lesson go right over my head?
Well, let's say you're asking somebody else. Did the math lesson go right over?
Okay. Did the math lesson go right over your head?
Okay, Sarah, how would you answer no? No, math lesson not right over my head.
No, it didn't. The math lesson wasn't over my head or wasn't right over my head.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
Uh, how will you make if our verb is went? How will you say that in a negative? No. How? So if I say, Sarah, did you go? How will you tell me in the past? No. No.
No, I didn't go.
Okay. So
No,
so
I
tell me.
didn't go.
All right. So tell me no. The math lesson.
Okay. No, the math lesson wasn't so advanced and it didn't go right over my head.
Okay. So no, the math lesson didn't go right over my head. No, the math lesson didn't go right over my head.
Oh, okay.
Can you try to say it like that?
Okay. The math lesson didn't go right over my head.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Mohammed, how will you make the question math lesson go over your head? How do you make that question?
Did the math lesson go well over your go right over your head?
Okay, is it didza or didtha?
Did the
Didtha. Try again.
did the did the math lesson go right over your head?
Did the math
But I have a question.
over? Go ahead.
I have a question.
Okay.
When we say the sentence are said in a friendly way,
Mm-hmm.
we emphasize the middle word. Does what will be different when we say it in a serious way or I am angry?
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at it for a minute. Did the math lesson? You're talking about the question, right?
No, the main sentence. The
Oh,
main
just the
sentence.
sentence. Okay. All right. So let me copy this and we'll change it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change our important words to blue. Okay. To remind us that we have to go low. We have to say this in a low way. Okay. All right. So because the tone pattern of a neutral sentence will probably be going from high to low always. Okay. So now we're changing our important. We're changing the math lesson to the math lesson. The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head. Okay, wait. Let's try this. I'll put F for friendly. I'll put S for serious. Can you see this on the screen? Maybe I'll even put it in the chat here just in case. Can you see it, Mohammed? Can you see the two different ways? Let me make that smaller so you can see everything.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, well, let's try the first phrase. The math lesson. The math lesson. That's the first, that's F. Can you say it like that? The math lesson.
Uh, the emphasis in on lesson, not math,
It's
or it says the same.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. The same words. We're emphasizing the same words. We're changing the tone from high to low. I'm exaggerating. It's not.
Okay.
Okay, so if you say number one,
Okay.
it's the math lesson. Can you say it like that? High to low.
The math lesson.
Okay, the math lesson. But if you say serious, the second one, it's the math lesson. The math lesson.
The math the math lesson.
Mhm. Sarah, can you say the first one? The math lesson.
The math lesson.
And can you say
The
the sec?
math lesson.
Can you say the second one? The the math lesson.
The math lesson.
Can you say that, Pachu? The difference between friendly and serious.
Okay, the math lesson
The math lesson.
and
Uh,
the
math lesson.
the math lesson,
hmm And
the math
how will
lesson,
you say it in a serious way?
the math lesson,
The
the math lesson,
math lesson. The math lesson.
the math lesson,
Yeah,
the math
it's
lesson.
low. So friendly is the math lesson, and serious is the math lesson.
Yeah, yeah. The math lesson and the math lesson.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to you do it, but it's so unconscious that it's hard to. I think Sarah's doing a pretty good job with that. Let's try the second one, Sarah. Let's try the second one. Was so advanced, friendly. Try.
Was so
Uh
advanced.
huh.
Yeah,
And now
okay, friendly. Was so advanced.
try serious. Was
And
so
sorry, okay. Was so advanced.
that's friendly. Try serious. Was so advanced.
Okay. Was so advanced.
So go lower. So was so advanced.
Was so advanced.
Yeah, so that sounds serious when you say it like that. Was so advanced, but was so advanced. That sounds friendly. Do you? I know it's really hard to hear the difference. It took me a long time. I still get confused all the time. It's not easy. It's a thing that people don't pay attention to. So, Mohammed, let's try this. Let's try friendly. The math lesson was so advanced. High low, high.
The math lesson was so
But now
advanced.
try serious. Serious. The math lesson was so advanced. Low.
The math lesson was so advanced.
Okay, I don't really hear too much of a difference. Do you hear the difference when I say it? So advanced. So advanced. Do you hear the difference?
I I hear, yes,
Yeah.
but it's hard to
Yeah,
produce.
it's hard to it's not easy. It's a pretty hard thing. And I'm exaggerating. People don't really talk like that. But I think that we have to exaggerate just to get the idea. How about the final Pachu? Let's try the final phrase, okay? It went right
Okay, sir.
over my head. So you're going from high to low. It went right over my head. So that sounds very friendly if the focus word is a high pitch. It went right over my head.
So it went right over my head.
Okay, but now let's do serious. It went right over my head.
So it went right over my head.
That's pretty good. So first one is it went right over my head.
So it went right over my head.
Serious. It went right over my head. Sorry, start high. It went right over my head.
It went right over my head.
Can you try that, Sarah? It first friendly. It went right over my head.
Yeah, it went right over my
Yeah,
head.
it's a happy.
And
The high tones are happy, friendly tones. Do serious. It went right over my head.
okay, it went right over my head.
Right, right. Go low. It went right over my head.
Went right over my head.
And you're always going from high to low, but the place where you change is the special word. So in this case it's right. So if it's happy sounding, you stay high with right, but if you want to sound more serious, then you start going low with right. Can you try that, Mohammed, first? It went right over my head. Very high tone.
It went right over my head.
Mm. Try serious.
It went
Go ahead.
it went right it went right over my head.
Yeah. So if you say it went right over my head, that sounds serious. But if you say it went right over my head, that sounds kind of happy and friendly or easy. Can you hear the difference?
Yes.
Try. Let's do the first. Let's go. This will be the end, okay? But we'll try friendly and then we'll try serious the entire phrase. So we'll start with Mohammed. I'll do friendly first. The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head. Can you try that friendly?
The math lesson was so advanced. It went right over my head.
Okay. Now let's
The ma-
go ahead. Do serious.
the math lesson was so advanced. It went right over my head.
Okay. So we just you always the phrase will start not always, but most of the time the phrase will start high to low. It's just when do you change to low is at the important word. If you keep it high, it sounds happy. If you keep it low, if you make it low, it starts to sound serious. So the math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head. Try that again.
The serious one?
Serious.
The math lesson was so advanced. It went right over my head.
Okay. Sarah, let's try the friendly one. The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
Okay. But probably when you get to the end of a phrase, you probably will want to make that low. So it went right over my head. You probably would make that low
Okay.
at the end. Okay, let's try the
Yeah.
serious one.
Okay.
The math
Okay.
lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
The math lesson was so advanced it went right over my head.
Okay. So that sounds more serious, like you're disappointed or unhappy. Pachu, can you try the friendly? I'll read the friendly one first and then you try. The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
Okay, let's try the serious one. The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
The math lesson was so advanced,
Mm-hmm.
it went right over my head.
Okay, but you're going up. You're saying the math lesson, but go down. The math lesson was so advanced, it went right over my head.
The math lesson was so advanced, it it went right over my head.
Okay, all right. I think we're going to stop here for today, and I'll probably. What
Yes.
time is it? So probably in about 8 or 9 hours, I will be reading a chapter from Dracula. So we won't be doing art of reading today, but probably tomorrow we'll do that. Okay, but so I'll be back in about 8 hours to read a chapter of Dracula, and if you want to practice some more intonation and pronunciation, we can do that. Okay. So thank you for everybody.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
can we make it after 9 hours?
After 9 hours, oh wait, let's see. Let's see. Right now, 12 hours. 12 hours from now is 8:30. So minus 3, that's like 6:30. So around 6 or 7. I don't know what time that's. Egypt is 8 hours from now. So
No, I am talking about 9 hours from now.
yeah, which what would that? What time would that be in Egypt? That would be.
No, the current time at you. No, I'm not talking about Egypt.
Well,
You said you will make the life after 8 hours. I mean, you can we make it after 9 hours?
the 9 hours from now. That would be around. That's about the time I was thinking. Probably around 6:30. Would that be okay? 6. Well, 6:30 for me, but that would be That would be like, I think, almost midnight for you. This is confusing.
Yes,
Okay, I'm in Mexico.
Yeah,
yes,
we need.
sure.
Okay, I'm in Mexico.
Yeah, we need to.
I'm in Mexico City, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to tell you, I'm doing it at 6 o'clock my time. Let's just because I'm confused, but I will.
Yeah, because we need
Go ahead.
to. I'm
You,
sorry.
you said you will make it 8 hours from now, right? 8 hours from now?
8 hours.
At first,
8 hours from
at
now.
first you said that?
Yeah, 8 hours from now.
Yes,
That would be
you said,
4
okay,
o'clock. Yeah, it's going to be like 10 hours from now, something like.
okay, that's nice.
I
That's
will.
nice.
I
Yeah,
will.
the time now.
When I finish, I will. I
I'm
will.
sorry.
I'll put it in advance so you know exactly when. Okay.
Yeah, the time now in Egypt is
Okay,
4:30 p.m.
you will put notification about the life. That's good.
Yeah, I'll schedule it in advance, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes from now, I'll schedule it. Okay. So.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we
I
need
will.
to. Muhammad, can you give me a second?
No,
Uh, Mr. Professor,
Go.
the time now is 4:40, 4:40 p.m.
Yeah. So
Okay.
9 hours.
So we need to gap the gap between us to calculate it.
Okay. Well, I'll just schedule it. So when I disconnect, give me about 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll put it on the schedule so you know exactly when it is. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
okay, thank you.
everybody,
Thank you.
for your participation, and I'll see you in a few hours or several hours or something like that. And have a good day. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.